How to start a box truck business and make $211,000 a year. There's a massive opportunity for this business because there's a shortage of trucks on the road. There are more loads than there are trucks, so you can take advantage of this by starting this business today. My name's Nate Jones. I run this channel. I make videos every day at 1:15 p.m. about how to start a business, how to grow a business, how to buy a business, and how to get to the next level in your entrepreneurial journey. So if you like that type of content, hit like and subscribe. So let's get into how much we can make running this business. What are the costs associated with it? What are some tips and tricks? And then we'll go into the actual next steps of forming this business. Okay, let's see how much we can make. This all depends on the size of your box truck, the commodities you're hauling, and where you're located in the country on how much you're gonna make. But a good average rate per load on a 300 to 500 mile trip, depending on how much they're paying you per that trip, is around $500 to $600. So for this example, to use very easy terms, I'm going to use $550 a load that we're making. The average loads that we can do per day is about 1 to 2. Usually you're going to see most days probably 1. You don't want to stretch yourself too much, but you could theoretically do 2 a day if you had 2 shorter ones. Per week, you're going to do about 8 loads a week. Per month, you could do about 32 loads. Okay, so that's about $17,600 a month. And on a yearly basis, that's our $211,200 a year operating a box truck business. But let's get into the costs, because in trucking, the costs are what eat up your business and eat into that profitability. So let's see how much we can really profit, because the only thing that really matters is profit. Okay, so we need to know our costs associated with starting this business. Number one, we're going to have to buy a reliable dump truck. So a reliable dump truck is probably going to be around $70,000. This is going to be a used one, but it's probably in decent shape. So $70,000, you're going to have to put $10,000 down on a 6-year note. $60,000 loan is going to put you about $900 a month on your auto loan. And insurance here, we're going to have to spend about $10,000 a year, which is $3,333 a month. We're going to probably spend about 425 gallons of gas on a monthly basis, which is about $2,500 a month, depending on the price of gas, or the price of diesel. I apologize. So the price of diesel, about $2,500 a month. On a monthly, our total monthly expenses is going to be about $6,733. Okay, so let's look at our expenses on an annual basis. We have the $10,000 down payment. Our $6,733 monthly expenses on an annual basis is $80,796. That equals $90,000 in expenses, and I added in another $10,000 in a variable expense when it comes to our maintenance and all other situations that cost money. So that's about $100,000 in expenses in operating this business. Very expense heavy, but that is what it takes when you're running a trucking company. For cash flow, again, we're at $200 a year in income minus our $100,000 in expenses puts us at a profit of $111,200 a year. So you're making $111,000 operating your box truck business. And let me pause here and let me say something. You need to commit to scaling this business. You're operating a box truck business. The only reason that business makes money is because you hop in the truck. You need to scale and you need to expand your trucking business, because the more that you expand, the better loads you're going to get. If you're a 1-unit trucking company, you're going to be living on a load boards. But if you get to 5 to 10 units and you've been in business a long time with very few DOT violations, you're going to get yourself those premier loads that are going to pay you a lot of money, potentially a dedicated route, in which is going to allow you to hire drivers a lot easier because they can have an expectation of the hours they're going to work every day. So you need to commit to expanding. This is $111,000. You don't need to be saying, oh, I'm making 6 figures. No, you need to commit to saying, okay, I'm going to reinvest this back into buying another truck, finding another driver, finding a good driver who has got a good driving record. Commit to that, continue to expand. This is the type of business that you want to continue to reinvest in. Take out what you need to live on. Don't go overboard, but reinvest back in to get additional drivers and additional trucks so you can create financial freedom. Financial freedom is, hey, I can go on vacation as I own a box truck company And I can go on vacation, and the week that I'm in vacation, my business continues to operate and make money. Right now, as a 1-unit trucker, when you go on vacation, you don't make money. So you need to commit to scaling this business and not just take all the money and go and run and say, I'm making great money. Ooh. No, commit to growing this business. The next thing we need to do is we need to think of all the ways in which this business will fail, and we need to create strategies around minimizing it. Number one, you can't get loads. Well, it's pretty hard to not get loads when there's so many load boards, but it's really going through and finding the correct load that you need, and that's creating relationships with specific brokers and specific shippers and potentially with other larger dump truck or box truck companies that will allow you to basically, they might give you a couple loads that they can't achieve. So what you need to do is, it's not necessarily how great you are, it's your network in business. So if you can have a great network of shippers, brokers that a lot of people maybe haven't heard of, it's not easy. It's like you're gonna have to call a ton of people to find access to the best loads, and it may not be available that first year. It may take 2 years in business for them to really trust you, but use your network, ask questions. How can I get better loads? Because at the end of the day, if you're going to spend 8 hours in a truck, you might as well maximize what you can make. And you can do that by networking. Number two, no showing. So when you say you're going to be there for a load, you better be there. Because if not, that'll put you out of business before anything else. And you want to make sure that you show up on time so you can continue to get better loads. Number three, safety and insurance. If you get DOT violations, you get put out of service, if your truck requires a CDL, which most of them don't, making sure that you're doing what you're supposed to from a safety and compliance standpoint will keep you in business, okay? So you can't have tons of insurance claims because your insurance will skyrocket and go crazy. So you need to make sure that you're a great safety-oriented business, trucking company, so you can continue to keep your insurance costs low. Number four is failing to scale. Like I mentioned before, not creating relationships with other drivers that you could potentially, take and bring onto your company, not reinvesting back in your company for potential growth down the road by adding another truck. You need to commit to scaling your business. The next thing you need to do is I call it legal up. You need to get a CPA accountant, you need to get an insurance agent, and you need to find an attorney. Your attorney is going to help you with creating your LLC and reviewing some of your broker contracts. That if you're going to sign a contract with a broker, make sure an attorney reviews it to make sure that you're not signing something that you are giving your life away to, okay? And also your CPA is going to set you up from a tax perspective to help you grow your business from a tax advantage standpoint. Commit to starting. If you're operating as a box truck driver now and you're getting paid on an hourly basis, and you're like, hey, you know what? I have money set aside. I want to start my company. Commit to this. Take the words from this video, use them as inspiration, and do your own research. But I think there's a massive opportunity for this for sure. I just think you need to hold yourself accountable to commit to reinvesting and back in this business. So if you like this type of content, hit like and subscribe. Thanks.